I think it's always been bigger than the sum of its parts. So that's what I love about Newsboys. I remember I was talking to Pete earlier. I remember the first time, even before I was in the band, I crept into this little 200-seater church the Newsboys are playing at. And I saw them play, and I saw that there was something more there than just the 3 or 4 guys who are on stage. And I was actually jealous of it. But now I get to be in the band. But it was a very healthy thing. I remember seeing I remember thinking God has his hand on this band. I don't know why. Maybe I'll ask God one day. But that's still today. I'm a fan of this band. I've always been a fan. But I get to play in it. So
I think when you start thinking and talking about legacy, I think what's going to be what I've realized recently, I guess I could say, is that we're going to get to one day we're going to get to see the actual fruits of our labor. And I think these last few tours we've done a lot of Q&As, and we've actually got to have people really minister to us. They come to us and they say, "Man, I was going through cancer, and this one song, got me through it." And you're just like, wow, and you're so far removed from it. You realize that we're doing what God wants us to do, and we have no idea what He's actually doing with it. But one day we will, and that's the legacy. That's cool. Yep.
I hope Christian music moves along in the sense of, I really hope, because Christian music has kind of become a style. I hope we can break out of that and take the art to another level. I think there's a lot of forces kind of trying to make it be one thing. I think music is inherently neither good nor evil. I think it's the lyrical content and the spirit behind it. So I would love to see CCM, Christian music, whatever you want to call it, I would love to see it progress. I'd love to see the art of it progress, because it seems to be for a lot of the moment, it's as long as it's got certain words in it or so many times you've said that word, that it's okay. And I'm like, well, yeah, but let's make the art great. Let's make it as good, because people tend to say, well, it's Christian music. Well, it's second rate. Well, at least that's what they're thinking. Yes, it's about the ministry, and we're all about that. But I think let's work harder at making the art of what we do the best that we can possibly make it. And I think that would be my, I'm ministering. I'm talking to myself here. Let Duncan become the best drummer. Just good is not good enough. Become a great drummer. Become a better drummer than you were 5 years ago. So I know we all feel like that. I know Michael wants to become a better singer. Everyone wants to be better at their craft. So at some point, because sometimes that's the only way you're going to minister to some people, is what they perceive you to be on the instrument. They may not be ready to hear what you're saying, but they may see that drummer, man, that lead singer, oh my, world class. And at that point, the hearts are more open to hear what you have to say.
I mean, as a believer, obviously having a platform to share a message of Christ from is phenomenal. You're humbled by it. Like, why would God use such a unworthy soul, Right. And when he says he does the foolish things to confound the wise, I believe that, because we're clay pots, to put it simply, and God uses us. But the Newsboys platform has given me, I get to do God's Not Dead, I get to share the gospel to loving people in Baja, Mexico, traveling to Africa for Child Fund, for singing in 50 states, pretty much every state once a year, pretty much. Yeah. In the course of a whole year. What an opportunity. It's like, one thing feeds the other. Being the lead singer for Newsboys, singing on the stage every night, being responsible to be the voice of the band, if you will, from stage live at night, that's a daunting task sometimes. But then I think to myself, my dad being a preacher, I think, man, what a cool opportunity to speak into some sweet little Cindy or Brandon or Ted or Mary life, Mary's life. Who knows how God's going to use it? His word didn't come back void, and we sing it loud and clear every night.